Hey, book readers. This is Christy with Tatted Hat Girl Reads, and I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I am going to review the book that kind of shook up my genres. It is a book that literally played Boggle with my genres and changed everything about the game. So, what book are we going to be reviewing today? Well, here it comes. That's right. We're going to be reviewing Jade City all the way, baby. Hey book readers, this is Christy with Tatted Hat Girl Reads, and now that you know that the book that has shaken up my genre reads, totally played Boggle, twisted everything around, and changed my entire view on what I think I read now. So let's dive right in, because for one, I don't want to waste your time, but also we're going to make this video a little shorter than normal because my room is extremely hot. I am in South Carolina and the sun faces straight through, but my blinds are closed, so I also have now a light on that is also making me hot. And I can't turn the fan on because I don't want to have to try to edit that out of a video. I am sweating, and after multiple takes, I'm just like, let's just go ahead and get done. So we're gonna go ahead and dive in. All right, so we're talking about Jade City. Book 2 is Jade War, book 3 is Jade Legacy. Done by Fonda Lee in an amazing, beautiful, fantastic way. All right, so it is an urban fantasy. I normally read fantasy, and if you've seen any of my reviews, you know that's the genre I review most. I do read some suspense. That was my original roots, but as an adult, I'm mostly a fantasy reader. Then Pierce Brown came in with Red Rising and totally threw me for a whole nother loop. Found that I loved sci-fi. Listened to Project Hail Mary, found out I love sci-fi. Thought that was, hey, maybe that's where I need to be for a while. And then Fonda Lee came in with Jade City and ruined that. Now I know for a fact that I love urban fantasy. This book reminds me a little bit of Goodfellas meets Jackie Chan meets Crescent City. Here's why Crescent City, because Crescent City is an urban fantasy. There is some violence, there is some things going on here that are pretty fascinating and have some crossovers that I could kind of connect the dots. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. Goodfellas, however, is a mob family, a clan family, and there's a lot of war, and that's where the Jackie Chan comes in at, a lot of fighting scenes, and it is just interesting to watch. The magic system. So if you like fantasy, there is a magic system. It's done through jade, my absolute favorite stone, because my dad bought me a cross years ago that was made of jade. And to know that this had a magic system using jade, that was neat. The more jade you have, the more powerful you are. The more jade your clan has, the more powerful they are, okay? So we've got that down. We've got that it's urban fantasy and that we're using jade as the magic system. The more you own, the more powerful you are. That makes sense. Some people are buried with it, but those who are not, that you have killed, you can take that jade off of them and become more powerful that way. I'm not going to do any spoilers in this book series because this was such a good series. I would be upset if it was ruined for me through video, so I'm not going to spoil it for you either. Let's talk about why. What pulled me in immediately? The first opening scene of this book was in a restaurant where they're having to deal with a situation and they take it outside and they deal with it out there. What I loved about Goodfellas is there's this restaurant scene where it's absolutely ultra violent and brutal. They're doing nothing to protect the interest of the restaurant owner, which is probably in their territory if I had to guess. In this restaurant scene in Jade City, the restaurant is in their territory. And they are loyal enough to the people that are in their territory to protect them. So they don't want to hurt the man's business. And I found that just the crossover was kind of cool to have the two restaurant scenes. And I loved Goodfellas with all my heart. I've seen it so many times that it just felt like a nostalgic moment to hop into this scene in Jade City. It made me fall in love with it immediately. It's a fast-paced story. It is dealing with the Call family and the Art family, okay? So the Call family is the No Peak clan, and the Art family is the Mountain clan. My husband and I laughed about the names that Fonda Lee chose because we're like, Mountain with peaks, and then No Peak. It cracked us up. We started laughing. We were reading it together in bed, and we're just like, wait a minute, that's hilarious. I had, for a moment, I had gotten for several chapters in, and I had forgotten that it was No Peak. And it's just like, wait, she went No Peak in the mountain. How obvious and on the nose. And she does that through many of the things that she names, the businesses, the locations, just kind of, you know, nail on the head kind of moment to where you're like, okay, I can see where you got the name from. It fits. But there's a territory war between the Call family and the Art family. There's a battle over who owns the most jade, the most territory, who is the strongest, who is in power. And it is fascinating because there are other clans, but these two are the primary clans of Jade City. I do think that might shift the further we go into Jade War or Jade Legacy, but I don't know. No spoilers, but definitely if you've read Jade City, feel free to comment below. If you decide to put a spoiler, I would rather you not, but if you did, put spoiler in all caps at the top of your comment. But let us know how you felt about Jade City, because I'm in love with it just off the opening scene. The Call family being loyal to the people that are around them, that being blood or not. And that leads me into who is the Call family. Lan, let's start back up a couple generations prior. We're going to start with the grandfather. He's kind of off to retirement, okay? That brings in Lan. Someone has to take the grandfather's position in the family within the clan. So it's Lan, L-A-N. And then you have Hilo or Hilo. I say Hilo when I read it in my head. It's H-I-L-O. He is the second brother, and then there's a sister. Her name is Shay. Shay is my absolute favorite character. She has rebelled and gone against the family business. This is not something she has an interest in. Her one brother supports, one brother does not. The grandfather supports anything Shay decides to do. And so she took off and decided to do her own thing. There are some events that happen in her life that do shift where she ends up in this story, but she is my favorite character, and I look forward to really finding some art. So if you have some art links to this book that you find that are absolutely detailed about Shay, will you send them to me? Because you can just put the link in the comments or just send them to me directly. But Shay is such a dope character. I can't find any art on her. And when I went to Fond du Lis's website, she has a Pinterest link, but the link is dead. So if you have anything, please send it to me. I feel like someone could have really done Shay some justice in the art world. But to continue on with the Call family, they have this person that they ran into that they've kind of come across. His mother passed away, and they took the little boy in. Okay, so they've put him into their family ranks, loved him, and then placed him in the academy they run to get him exposed to education, fighting, and also get him experience to Jade. Your body has to be able to handle Jade for you to be able to use Jade. It actually can have an adverse effect if your body cannot handle it. Read the book. I'm not going to go into detail with that because I felt like that was kind of the fun of the book for me, was figuring out how the body reacts to Jade. Now, again, the more Jade you have, the more experience you get, the more power you have. Well, when you come through the ranks, the higher ranks, you might end up with 3 or 4 stones of Jade by the time you finish the academy. The academy was only 4 more months, I think it was, left for Andon to finish and complete before he comes into the family business. He is top ranks of his class. He is doing very well. And you get to find how his story evolves and the crossroads he comes to with trying to stay loyal to the family that took him in. He's going to be approached. It's just the things that happen. He would seem like the weaker link. And even in this book, it's just interesting to see the things that he has to face. So I look forward to more about his story as we go on. The academy, with that said, I love the fact that Fond du Lis didn't stay in the academy. She didn't overly talk about the ranking system with either in the school or within the power classes. While it's kind of an unsaid thing of classes, you still know that there's a ranking system. There's a ranking system even in our world today. But this is no different. With the Jade creating power struggles, you know immediately that there's going to be people that can't actually have Jade that will fight for it to the death. And there's a little bit of that going on as well. The Jade City was a story that gripped me from chapter 1, page 1. I was enthralled in it. It's a fast read. You'll flip the pages and just keep going. If you like fantasy, don't be afraid of the urban fantasy genre, because it is something neat, because you'll find a little bit of something that is related into the world you understand today versus it being a world that you have to kind of piece together in blocks by the way the author's telling you it's happening. Jade City felt like you have been there in a possible way, or that you have experienced something similar, even though, we're not power struggling over Jade around here, but we have similar, there's people with boats, yachts, homes. We have the similar thing where you feel most powerful by the more of the things you own. So you feel like there's some things that you can understand and relate to, and it doesn't feel so far-fetched. The book has me hooked on urban fantasy. It could be that I'm just enjoying the crime family aspect of this thing, and that's okay. That's okay. We're going to get more into the clan issues and the clan territory wars probably in Jade War, and I look forward to that. That is the next book, and I am already on that. I'm on chapter 2, so we haven't had anything real to happen in that yet. But I can recommend this book. This is a 6-star, and unless something seriously changes, this is like a 6-star series for me, and I've only finished book 1. So I highly recommend this series. So you guys, that is the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and comment. How did you feel about Jade City if you read it, or are you gonna pick it up? If you've read another book that is similar that you think I should read, please put that in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, happy reading.
'Cause my love deserves to be